Hello, ladies. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how disconnection from your own emotions, from your own body, is directly mirrored out in disconnection from your partner. So you may be feeling like my partner doesn't understand me, they don't hear what I have to say. I feel so disconnected from having an emotional connection with them. I feel like they're just not getting what I'm saying. This video is going to be for you because I'm going to be explaining why this happens. And so let's just jump right into the video. So there are a few reasons that you may be feeling disconnected from your partner. And the first reason that you may be feeling disconnected from your partner is because you are so dysregulated. You're feeling so dysregulated in your body. One thing keeps stacking onto the other. Emotions keep piling up. You are so stressed. You feel like there's so much going on to the point where you feel so overwhelmed. You're in survival mode and you feel like you lack a sense of clarity. You feel like you can't even think clearly. You wake up tired, you go to sleep and you can't even sleep. Then all the thoughts start coming through. And when you speak with your partner, it feels like there is this lingering sense of anxiety. There is this lingering sense of disconnection. You feel like you're not able to get what you want to say across, and they're not understanding you. And you feel like you actually are not feeling love from them. You're not receiving the love that you are knowing that is there. You're feeling like is there, but there is a part of you that's saying, am I with the right person? Like, should I leave? Like, they're not loving me enough. But here to tell you, this is actually a reflection of you, of what you're able to hold in your body, of all the dysregulation that you feel in your body, and how that is a mirror of that. And when we feel so dysregulated, when we haven't processed the trauma from the past, when we haven't alchemized our emotions, when we haven't cleared the space in our body, we have so many stagnant emotions that build up from being repressed for so long. We start to feel heavy. We start to feel like we're carrying a weight on our shoulders. Maybe some of you even feel tension in your shoulders. And you're like, why is this not going away? I have so much freaking pain. Where is this even coming from? And you're walking around in this sense of heaviness, in this sense of pain, this chronic tension. That is a sign that you're in survival mode and you're constantly feeling dysregulated to a point where you feel like you cannot connect with another person. Because when we're in survival, when we're dysregulated, there is no space for that. There is no space to hold love. There is no space to connect and engage with other people and be social. Oftentimes, when we're so disconnected, when we're in survival, we want to isolate. We don't want to be around other people. In fact, that actually feels so draining. And if that is how you're feeling and you feel like no one understands me, I can't even go out in public and socialize, like I just want to isolate because I feel so exhausted when I even socialize. If that is how you're feeling, that is a sign that your nervous system is overwhelmed. You are carrying too much. And oftentimes we honestly stay stuck in the state because that is what we are used to. We don't even know any other state. We don't even know any other way of being or showing up because that's how we grew up. I know for myself, I grew up in a state that felt chaotic and unpredictable, and that was what was familiar in my body. That felt familiar. And when I finally started to actually allow love in, when I was being loved and my partner was showing up in all of these ways, I couldn't take it. I was like, oh my gosh, what? And my body put up all kinds of defenses and protections to keep me away from that because that wasn't safe. Whatever is considered new, something that is not familiar to our nervous system, is considered dangerous. And so, because my body wasn't used to that, I grew up in chaos and unpredictability. Now, when I had the predictability, now when I had the love, I wasn't able to actually allow myself to receive that. And I put up all kinds of protections against it to be like, okay, no, you that stays out here. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not letting that in because if I let that in, I'm gonna get hurt, God forbid. If I let that in, I don't know what's gonna happen. The other shoe's gonna drop at some point. I can't let that love in. I didn't have that capacity. And I didn't feel safe in holding love. I felt like I had to earn it. I felt like I had to manipulate my way around it to get it. I felt like I had to keep testing my partner to see if he still loves me. I did all kinds of things that was like, okay, he was always there, being the same person, showing up in the same ways, but I felt some type of way about that. I didn't feel safe enough in that. And when we have so many of these repressed emotions in our body, they're being stored in our body, and we have so much trauma still in our body and we're feeling so dysregulated and so heavy, that distorts how we view our partner. That distorts what we receive in our body. That distorts how we view the world around us. What we feel about the world and how we view the world is a direct reflection of what is in our body. If you think about it, like all the things that are stuck in your body, think of it as looking through a glass lens that is through the trauma. You're looking at the world through a glass lens that is impacted by the trauma, impacted by all the heaviness, impacted by all the density, impacted by all the repressed emotions that we're afraid to look at and see and face and integrate. All of it is impacted by that. And then we wonder, why do we feel so disconnected? Because we have all kinds of walls up to protect ourselves. And when we're trying to relate to another human being from the head, and we're trying to connect for them just on an intellectual level, that is not connection. That is not connection. We want to be able to connect with each other from the heart. You can actually use your body as a woman to speak from your heart, to actually broadcast out a frequency that shows up in a way where it's like, oh, who's she? Like, okay, like I can feel her energy. Men want to feel your energy. And when you are feeling so unsafe and you're in this survival mode, you are up in your head protecting yourself. Men cannot feel your energy. Your partner can't feel your energy. You are going to feel disconnected because you're not able to see his heart and he's not able to actually feel yours. But then when you start doing the mindset work combined with the body work and releasing these places of tension, these stuck emotions, and you're able to expand a little bit by little bit how much love you're able to hold. You're able to sit in uncomfortable moments where you're feeling the connection, you're feeling the intimacy, and you're like, this feels so scary, this feels hard. I remember like the first moment I felt this happening because at first it was so unconscious that I didn't even see it playing out. I was like, I didn't even know this was happening. Then when I finally became conscious of it, I was like, oh my God, like I feel the uncomfortableness in my body when there is this moment of connection. Like I can feel the other person's heart. I can feel like how much they truly care. I can feel the love. And a part of me was so scared and I wanted to push it away. I wanted to say something mean. I wanted to make a joke. And that is how it manifests. When we feel unsafe, we push that aside and then we blame the other person. Oh, they're not loving me enough. They're not seeing me enough. They're not hearing me. But it's actually us. Like there, it's a mirror. It always feels so much easier to blame the other person. And I feel like this is a sad reason why so many relationships don't last very long and don't end up working out. We blame the other person. We've become so good at blaming the other person. But actually making a commitment to coming together and deciding that I am choosing this person and I know they're gonna have flaws. I know there are things I love about them, but they're also gonna have flaws, and I'm choosing to live with those flaws. And we will actually trigger the shit out of each other, and we will continue to work through that because my partner is my biggest teacher. The relationships I have in my life are my biggest teacher. But when we just choose to turn a blind eye and say, well, it's them, and not take any accountability, and say, oh, yeah, it's them. They were the problem. I'm just gonna go find another partner. What do you think? I want you to look back on your, like, the people that you have dated and see, are there people where you feel like it's a different person, but it's the same exact thing that keeps repeating over and over and over again? Why do you think that is? It's because the other person is a reflection of you, and it is a gift given to you so that you can actually learn the lessons that you were meant to learn in this lifetime. It is a little gift being presented to you and saying, here, this is what we are going to trigger her with. This is what she needs to learn. Because imagine if you wanted to become stronger at something, like wanting to become better at being patient, but you hate waiting. What is God going to give you? God is going to give you a situation that tests your patience. He's going to give you a partner that tests all the things that you want to learn, that you want to be able to hold in this life. How much love can you actually allow yourself to hold? How much love do you want to be able to hold? How much do you want your partner to be able to see you? Can you allow your partner to see you when you're constantly pushing them away and you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable? When you're constantly putting up walls, not consciously most of the time, this happens unconsciously because when we feel unsafe in our bodies does this naturally until we become aware of it and we start to use the tools to actually help us through this, to help us to create safety so that we're not continuing to show up in these unhelpful patterns. So if you're feeling like I'm not heard, I am not seen, I feel so disconnected from my partner, I guarantee you this is because you do not feel safe in your body. This is because you do not see yourself. You do not allow yourself to be seen in all of your pain, in all of your love, in all of your happiness, in all of it, in all of your sadness, and all of your grief. Do you allow yourself to see all sides of you, or do you turn away, turn a blind eye to some of it because it's not so pretty? This is what it means to integrate your shadow. This is what it means to shine light on a different part of you that is normally hidden. And when you do that, you start showing up differently. You don't feel as self-conscious. You feel so much more grounded in your power and in your energy. And you feel so much more safe in expressing who you are and expressing yourself. Because you're no longer basing that on other people and how they show up and what you're afraid they might trigger in you and blaming all kinds of things on them. It has nothing, you already know it has nothing to do with them. And it has everything to do with you. The people who win in relationships and in life are the ones that stick it out, that take accountability, and that make these changes in their lives. They're not the ones who continue to blame everyone else for their problems and the life that they've created around them. And your beliefs impact so much. It's not just your body, it's a combination of your mind, your thoughts, the mindset that you have, how you view yourself, how you view the world, and the combination of everything that is going on in your body. What kind of traumas have you gone through? What kind of emotions are you still holding on to in your body? They both work together. The interesting thing that you will start to notice is that when you finally start clearing out some space, when you finally start having a clear mind and a clear body, and you are able to feel all of your emotions without making any of it wrong, and you no longer feel so dysregulated, you're able to influence people in a healthy way, not through manipulation, but you're able to influence people because you're able to finally open up your heart, and your heart now starts broadcasting out the frequency of whatever you are speaking about. You're no longer just speaking from the head out of protection. You now feel safe enough in your body to open up your heart and start expressing yourself, allowing yourself to be seen, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, allowing yourself to just be, and people can feel your energy. People can finally hear you and understand you. And even though you thought it was other people, it was you all along. You had the power all along. It was always in you, but it was clouded by all kinds of things and it was distorted by all kinds of trauma and stuck emotions and stagnant energy. But when we finally clear that, you're finally able to broadcast out this frequency. There is research showing that your heart broadcasts out a frequency that people can feel. And not even just your heart, your nervous system is something that other people can feel. Other people's nervous system can communicate with your nervous system and feel where you're at. And when we're so dysregulated, that is the frequency that we are sending out. That is the energy we are sending out to other people's nervous system. And their nervous system cannot trust us if we are feeling dysregulated. If we are closing off our heart, how can we broadcast out this frequency? How can they feel our energy? How can they tap into a dysregulated nervous system? They can't. And so doing this work helps you actually speak from your body, from an embodied place, so that people can actually finally start to connect with you and to feel what you have to say and to understand what you are saying and to hear you and see you. But how can they do that when you're not allowing them, when you're putting up walls and you are protecting, when you do not feel safe in seeing yourself? How can you allow other people to see you when you don't see yourself? And that is exactly what I help you with in Safe to Be Loved. If this video resonated with you and you feel like you are ready to dismantle everything you have ever known, everything you have ever thought about yourself, all the beliefs that you hold about yourself, whether you believe you are unworthy, whether you believe that you have to earn love, whether you believe that you are broken, whatever it is, we are going to dismantle that. And we are going to be releasing all that heaviness from the body. We're going to be releasing all of those stuck emotions from the body to make space for something new. Because we all know, like when we declutter, all of a sudden we have space. We're saying, oh, we want to change out our closet. We want to do this and that and change this. And we want to change our wardrobe. Meanwhile, our closet is overflowing. It's full of things we don't wear, but we don't have space for anything new. So this is literally the same. We are taking out all of those pieces we don't wear. They no longer serve us. They no longer align with the identity that we want to embody. We're taking all of that out and we are releasing it with love. We are releasing it for someone who could benefit from it more, not with the beliefs, but I'm talking about the clothes now. But once you do that, you notice there is a space. Now, all of a sudden, I have space. Maybe I can go shopping. Maybe all of a sudden, money appears in my bank account and I can actually go on a shopping spree. So, we are literally going into the body and into the mind and taking out all of these things that no longer serve you. And we are making space for something different, for something new, for peace, for love, for you to be able to hold more love, for you to be able to feel love if that is something that you struggle with, for you to be able to sit in that moment of connection without making a joke or starting to criticize your partner. That is what we are doing in Safe to Be Loved. So if this resonated with you, I will leave the link to that down below and I will see you in the next video. Bye.